What's up YouTube, I'm Marty from Marty's Mods, and today we're going to work out whether we can get this Sony Bluetooth speaker, SRS-XB10, to power this giant vintage speaker on my right. If you look on the bottom, you can see how much power this thing can theoretically put out. It says 5 volts at 0.5 amps, so theoretically I'm expecting it to peak out at 2.5 watts. 2.5 watts is a pretty small amount, and that includes all of the Bluetooth internals that are used for receiving the signal. So I'm not expecting better sound quality, but I am expecting something different, maybe something with a bit more character, I don't know. Before we rip this thing apart and plug it into that, let's do a sound test and work out exactly how good this speaker is and how loud it is. So the speaker sounds pretty good. It's not super loud, I can talk over it. But it's got good bass. It's like pretty round. It sounds like a big speaker at low volume. So that's kind of like what they were going for when they made the speaker.
Did what I had to do, and this is enough for me. Never meant to be a winner, never meant to be a quitter, but this is how I lose satisfaction. Cheap thrills, cheap tricks. Woo! It seems like the way to live. Who said I should be a big shot? Who said I should take it, tick tock? I gotta rest. I'm feeling so good. In me, I know it, but I'm misunderstood. Feeling like that, well, they say it's a lie, but I gotta tell ya, gotta live or let die. I gotta rest. I don't know I could. Nothing to reach, and I don't feel like I should. Feeling like that, well, they say it's a lie, but I gotta tell ya, gotta live or let die.
Alright, that's the fun part done. I'm really happy that we haven't had to break anything or rip anything to take this thing apart. Let's go through all the different parts of the unit, what they do, and how we're going to get them to plug into this. Let's start with casing. It's made of rubber. Then we've got the hard case there with the speaker grill. We've got the battery holder and speaker mounts. We've got the unit here, which is all the active electronics. 5 watt-hour battery, we've got the circuit board, and that plugs into the active speaker. This Bluetooth speaker has a killer feature, which is what is really driving the bass. It's this passive subwoofer at the bottom, and what it does is it gets the air coming from the front speaker and it pushes it out via this passive woofer. So now we've got this little unit here. The buttons are still working, I can still turn it on. All we need to do now is get the negative and positive cables out of that active speaker and connect them up to this big speaker here and see if we can get some sound out of it, whether it sounds good, or whether the whole thing explodes. I don't know. Let's have a look. Alright, the moment's arrived. I've disconnected the negative and positive cables from the little speaker, and I'm going to connect them up to this big speaker. Let's see how this goes. Alright, I've got to switch it on. Oh, that came out of this big speaker. Nice. Alright, well, let's see if we can get this Bluetooth set up over here. Alright, it's connected. Now, let's turn this thing around gently. See if we can push some music out of it. Alright, it's playing. Sounds pretty muffled, but it's something. Oh, that's cool. sounding speaker. Whoa, oh, that sounds pretty good, the bass as well. That's way better than the little speaker that was in it. Yes. So instead of this tiny speaker, that amp is now powering this thing. And it sounds great. I'm really impressed. It might be a little bit hard to take this one to the beach though, but I think if I rocked up to a picnic or something, people would be pretty damn impressed. And it sounds freaking great. So there you have it. We got it wired up. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.